My colleague Chet Huber, who was the founding president of GM's OnStar business unit, is fond of saying that you take BSSE one of two ways. You either take it the hard way across decades of trial and error, or the easy way with us across 14 weeks. Hi, my name is Rory McDonald, and I'm an associate professor in the TOM unit and also the course head of BSSE, Building and Sustaining a Successful Enterprise. I created this brief video to give you an idea about our plans for the fall, and also to share why we think the course is well worth a slot in your EC schedule. We're offering 6 sections of the course this year, 4 in the fall term and then 2 in the spring. 3 of us are going to teach in the fall. My colleagues Chet Huber and Derek Van Beaver are going to teach via the hybrid classroom format, and I'll be teaching a section via Zoom. We also have 2 offerings in both the X and Y schedules, so we hope to be able to accommodate all of you. Now to the course itself. You probably have heard something about BSSE from your fellow students, and maybe from alumni from the school. We obviously think it's a pretty important part of the overall HBS experience, or we wouldn't be teaching it. Students have variously described it to us as a capstone course, one of the great general management offerings of the school, and that sounds about right to us. The course was created by my mentor and friend, Clayton Christensen, who died this past January. But the course lives on through us and through the over 10,000 alumni of the school who have taken it over the past 2 decades, and who use the BSSE frameworks every day as they make critical decisions designed to build and sustain success. And maybe the best way for me to give you a sense of the course is to share this video with you that we created a couple of years ago, in which some recent alumni talk about their experience in the course and after graduation. You also get a sense of why Clay, who is so important to the school and so much fun to be around. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy it.
My name is Clayton Christensen. I just work at the Harvard Business School. About 18 years ago, I decided I would create a new course. It's never been attempted before. And we called it Building and Sustaining a Successful Enterprise. It's an awful name. I apologize for that. But we wanted it to tell how important it is to build and sustain successful enterprises. What I love about BSSE is that its purpose is to help us think about management. And it is organized around theories. And theories are statements of causality. And we wanted to have a course where you never have to say it depends, but rather we wanted a course where we could teach managers how to think their way through important problems. And that's what BSSE does.
When I think back at my time at HBS, by far, BSSE is the class that impacted me the most and has impacted my life. And I think it did that not because the other classes weren't good or as good, but I think the beautiful marriage between theory and the case discussion helped me leave class with a very tangible takeaway.
I view BSSE as a capstone type class for the HBS experience, as it cuts across so many areas of the first year experience and goes deep in many of them, but also has a unifying set of theories that brings so many of them together. And so it builds a lot upon what was learned in the first year, but takes it to a new and different level, so a combination of introducing new concepts, reframing concepts that you might be familiar with, and thinking through how to apply them to business situations.
To me, BSSE was an incredible course to kind of establish a language of how to think and articulate business problems. What it did for me is it took a lot of problems that I had seen prior to school and provided scaffolding and a framework around it to think about them with some rigor and ask, where does the problem that I experienced deviate from that? Where does it share similar qualities? And I think it allowed me to actually apply theory to these problems that seemed a bit more ambiguous and messy before.
So BSSE is pretty much the course that integrates, I think, everything you learn in the RC year. in the RC year, I always found that things were a little bit siloed, right? You were focused on finance and the finance cases, even if there were other things you wanted to talk about. Or in a marketing case, you really didn't get into the things around like the broader, environmental context sometimes. But in BSSE, you actually have an opportunity to bring it all together into one discussion, which means it's a much more robust conversation. And so in some ways, it's an extension of everything you've learned in RC year and integrates everything into one holistic thing.
In a lot of UC courses, you'll have students who are self-selecting into certain subject matter areas based on professional interests or based on prior expertise or what they might want to do immediately after graduation or some subject area they're interested in exploring, industry, what have you. BSSE is for everyone. It applies to diverse industries, diverse subject matters, and so it's one of those classes that brings everybody together from across the table.
One day I came to class and the student came with a Diet Coke and stuck it on the table in front of him. And I said, "What's the Diet Coke for?" And he said, "Diet Coke doesn't go up market." So we want you to understand the theory, but then we also want you to come to class with a sense for, are there other situations where this might not be applicable and why? And it just as in science, if the students will come to class looking for anomalies, then the theory gets better. I just have some advice for you, and that is take seriously the idea that when you graduate from HBS, many of your colleagues will have taken the BSSE course as well. And it gives you a language and a way to frame the problem that you otherwise have no way of framing.
In some ways, you need to have some of that language to be credible as a graduate of HBS because people will expect you to know strategy and to know Clay's theories. And in many ways, so as a leadership consultant now, I'm not always dealing in pure strategy, but the CEOs and the boards and investors I'm working with every day are asking questions about leaders relative to the strategies they're trying to pull off. And a lot of the conversations are around transformation and disruption in their industries. That's just the nature of the dynamic world we live in now.
In Clay's office, he has a sign that reads "Anomalies Wanted." And he wants students to challenge the theories, challenge the material in the course, and help him and the BSSE faculty make the theories better and stronger. And that's essentially how you get to better theories.
And the theory is vibrant because the students help it become so.